Yeah. What's going on, YouTube? Out there live on YouTube this evening on That's Rather Cavaliers, Cleveland Cavaliers podcast. Me and Tay-Boy Fresh got to do a recap. We ain't been rocking out and kicking it lately about the Cavs, but you know we transitioning from football into basketball. What's up, Tay-Boy Fresh? What's cracking-lacking on That's Rather Cavaliers, Cleveland Cavaliers podcast?
Big G, what's up, man? Yeah, just a quick recap. Last time we did the show was after the Cavs wins, 2 wins against the Denver Nuggets and Philadelphia 76ers.
Mm-hmm.
Since then, there's been 6 games. The Cavs have gone 3-3.
Mm-hmm. Hey,
So
man,
that gets us caught up. The latest victory was the victory tonight against the second place in the Eastern Conference, Orlando Magic.
We're going to get into that, and we're going to get into a bunch of stuff about the Cavs because JB Bickerstaff, your days might be numbered. But we're going to talk about that a little bit. Hey, make sure that you guys like and subscribe. Like and subscribe as you watch the show here live on YouTube after I see one of our generals over there kicking it, man. Thank you for locking with us. And listen, we'll be right back after we give y'all our intro for That's Rather Cavaliers, Cleveland Cavaliers podcast.
Thanks for joining us on the That's Rather Cavalier podcast. Before we get to it, make sure you follow us wherever you get your audio podcast. Just search FFSN, That's Rather Cavalier. Give us a 5-star rating on Apple and Spotify. Also, check out our Cavs shorts on the Know-It-Alls YouTube channel. Now let's get to it.
That's Rather Cavaliers, Cleveland Cavaliers podcast. Tay-Boy Fresh, Big G in the building. We're going to talk a little bit about these Cavs tonight. Hey, Tim Lyons, we see you over there, so we salute you for rocking with us this evening as well.
What up, Tim?
Yeah, Tay, and you know, of course, we always salute Afton, one of our generals. What's going on?
I like Afton, man.
Afton goes hard in the paint, man.
That's my partner.
Absolutely. Tay-Boy Fresh. Cavs get the dub tonight, bro. They get the dub. What you thinking?
Hey, man, it was a much-needed win, man, because the Cavs have had some pretty mundane performances over that 6-game span I was just talking about, man.
Mm-hmm.
They lost to the Portland Trail Blazers. Then at home, they beat Portland on the West Coast road trip, but then they come and lose to them at home.
Mm-hmm.
They lost to the Lakers, one of the games they lost, which is okay. It's the Lakers at home. LeBron coming back, you know, I mean, I can see LeBron really wanting to get that one. But, you know, they just haven't been playing up to snuff. And I think a lot of it is, I'm not ready to blame JB yet. I think it's health. We've yet to be whole.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, we started the season with no Jared Allen and Darius Garland.
Mm-hmm.
And Donovan Mitchell missed some time with a hamstring.
Yep.
Okoro was out.
Yep.
Burke's been out.
Yep.
Ty Jerome hadn't played all season.
Facts.
I mean, you know, so we haven't been whole yet. When we get whole and get some continuity, I think it'll look a lot more like it did tonight than it has the previous 20 games.
Yeah. I think without a shadow of a doubt, man, I mean, you had the starting 5 on the floor, and they actually looked good. Evan Mobley had 16 and 5. Jared Allen had 8 and 11. Darius Garland had 26 and 3. Donovan Mitchell had 35 and 7. And Strus had 17 and 5. So, hey, man, that's a starting lineup that we need. But right now, like you said, we are beat up bad on that bench, man. We are beat up bad. So I think you'll see a different product, maybe. And it wasn't like it was chopped liver tonight, us playing against the Orlando Magic. The Orlando Magic is the number 2 or 3 seed in the East now.
They dropped the 3. They were half game ahead of Milwaukee.
Yeah.
At the start of the night, and we kind of handled them. We've got up for the really good teams, man. We beat Philly, we beat Denver, we beat Golden State. We swept Golden State.
Yep.
We beat Atlanta. I don't know how good Atlanta is. They were a play-in team last year.
Yeah.
You know, it's the games that we lost that we shouldn't lose. I mean, OKC is really good. We let them sweep us.
Right.
We split with the Knicks so far. I'm trying to think of this year, but this is a tough stretch now because we. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you got it. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say this is tough stretch because Friday we just won in Orlando, not in Cleveland.
Yep.
But now we go on the road. We go Friday. We play the Heat.
Yep.
In Miami. Then
Orlando.
Monday we play Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
I wish that game was a little later when I'm gonna be there. Because I'm going to the Orlando versus Knicks and Orlando versus Sixers. But so we got, let me just run it off. We got Miami, Orlando, Boston back to back. Then we got Atlanta and Houston.
Yep.
All before December 18th. So all those 6 games is like in the next 6 games in like 9-10 days.
And on the road too, Tate. On the road. You know, this is a critical stretch for the Cavaliers down the horn, bro. We got to have it. We cannot go 3-3 in this stretch. We need a 4-2 record. And that's just my opinion, Tate.
Yeah, because, I mean, it's not time to hit the panic button yet. I mean, because I look at the standings, the Cavs are 8, they're 12-9. Mm-hmm. The Heat are 12-9. Mm-hmm. The Pacers, who were at the top early in the season, are 11-8, number 6 spot. The Knicks are 12, and so we're half game behind the Knicks for 5th place. Mm-hmm. The 76ers, we a game back. I take that back. 2 games back in the lost column behind the 76ers for the 4th spot.
Yeah.
So yeah,
we can jump up quick. Yeah, we can jump up quick.
Right. A 4 or 5 game win streak, and you right up there where you want to be.
Yeah, 4-2 in the next 4-2 over the next 6. I think puts the Cavs somewhere between that 4 and 5 spot, man. I really do believe it because some of the teams that are in front of us, their schedules is really hard. The Philadelphia 76ers has a hard schedule. The Indiana Pacers and the Miami Heat have hard schedules.
Well, yeah, so, I expect the Pacers to fall back to the mean. I think they're really good. Tyrese Halliburton is up there with your boy. You like to talk about Shea. He up there. I heard him talk about Tyrese for MVP this year.
Hey,
I don't think it's sustainable for MVP, but the Pacers are good players, well coached, but I think they'll fall back to the median. I think they'll end up where they're supposed to be in like that play-in spot between 7 and 10.
Tay Boy Fresh, you know when we come on That's Rather Cavaliers, Cleveland Cavaliers podcast, we got to ask some of those hard questions and some of those things that's out there. Is Banchero better than Evan Mobley? He lit us up like a Christmas tree tonight, bro. He had 42 points. He lit us up.
He did, but what do you want? Banchero's offense or Evan Mobley's versatility and continual name going to be in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year? That's what the Cavs need.
It's Banchero. I mean, you got to remember, he's really a second-year player that left Duke after 1 year. So he's younger than Mobley. And he's shown a lot of progress to be the leader of the Orlando Magic, which is why they're starting on with this hot start. So
he don't have Donovan Mitchell. He don't have Darius Garland. He don't have those lead guys. I mean, really, he's one of their guys, but I think Franz Wagner is their number 1 guy.
I would say Banchero. I bet
if you look at the stats, and I ain't just saying scoring.
I think Banchero leads him in scoring and rebounding.
Well, he's a big number 1 overall pick.
Yeah.
But I'm getting a little bit, I don't want to say down, get a little bit impatient with Evan Mobley.
Yeah.
But I think it's just his, you know how some guys just have that demeanor, man, where they just not killers, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, he plays within the flow of the offense. He plays great defense. But he just want to attack somebody. That's what he needs to do. That's what I want to see him do, to take that next step. But
yes.
It's hard with Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland.
I get that. But I think that's part of the reason why me and you both called it earlier, that Tristan Thompson was brought in. Tristan Thompson was brought in to help build that dog mentality in Mobley and toughen Jared Allen up a little bit. Now, have I seen progress? I can't act like I haven't seen it, right? But I'm looking at a guy like Banchero, like you said, maybe it's not apples to apples. The comparison is not there. But, man, Banchero is man, that boy is balling. That boy is out there balling. Ain't no ifs, ands, buts about it, Tate. So that's all I'm saying. And like you said, it's not apples to apples. It's not serviceable this against that because Banchero probably touches the ball 70% of the time that the Orlando Magic have the ball. To whereas the guys for the Cavaliers.
This season, he averaged 19.5 points, 6.9 rebounds, call it 7, 5 assists, shooting 48%.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna tell you Evan Mobley. Go ahead and say what you're saying. I'll put Evan Mobley up.
Well, like I said, it's not comparing apples to apples because it's he touches the ball 75% of the time. The offense is around him, but Banchero has shown some definite leaps and bounds to me.
Evan Mobley, 16 points. So Banchero's 19.5. Banchero was 6 rebounds. Evan Mobley's almost 11, 10.9. So 16 and 11. 3 assists. Banchero was almost at 5. And Evan Mobley shooting 57% from the field versus Banchero's 48.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And all that matters is the Cavs got the dub against the Orlando Magic, right?
I agree.
Say, another hard question, man. Do the Cavs got to make a move to strengthen their bench? Do they have to make a move? Do we make a trade to get the bench together? Because that is a hard question. Because that's what's going to matter come down the stretch moving forward for the Cavs. Do they got to make a move to bring in a solid? I mean, because I like Harris LeVert. I like some of the other guys off the bench. Like you said, Jerome ain't played a game. I wish they would pull Imani Bates up from the G League up, but that's just me. But do the Cavs, in your opinion, need to make a move to strengthen the bench to help them?
It's not any minutes for Imani Bates right now, man. I mean, he's going off in the G League though for the Canton Charge, going off,
killing them.
But there's no minutes for him, so his best course of development is getting the run down there. Then when the Canton Charge have home games and the Cavs have a home game, he'll come and dress and sit on the bench and get the experience and the exposure. But ain't no minutes for him right now when everybody's optimally healthy. As far as the bench, I mean, I like LeVert, Okoro, Dean Wade, George Niang. They got some pieces.
Yeah. I
mean, I even like Ty Jerome ain't healthy yet, but you got so much with Garland, Mitchell, and LeVert. I mean, all those guys can be a distributor and handle the ball.
Yeah.
Be a point guard with the second unit.
Yeah.
I mean, so when Ty Jerome comes back, he's a 6'5". He's more of a 3-and-D point guard.
Yeah.
He can do some facilitating, but he's really better off ball, shooting, spotting up, shooting, and D'ing up the other team's 1 or 2 guard because he's 6'5". With some little bit of tenacity. I like Tristan Thompson, man. I can't think of what, I mean, you can always get better, but I can't think of what bench piece I would want to say, yeah, we need that. I think we just need to be healthy and get a rapport and continuity, and the Cavs will be okay, man.
I'm feeling it. Like I said, we asked the hard questions on That's Rather Cavaliers, Cleveland Cavaliers, but I definitely will co-sign with you that the Cavs need to get healthy as a franchise.
You know what?
What's cracking?
I said this before, and this guy is available on the street right now, a little older, but we got Tristan Thompson. He about the same age as Tristan. I wouldn't be mad at Big Cuz, DeMarcus Cousins.
I wouldn't be. He's
Just
another serviceable big.
You can put him in. He can space the floor. He can shoot. He got post moves. I mean, he's a little step slower, but you're not asking him to play big minutes.
Nope.
You just add him to the roster as a veteran and a piece that you can go to if you need to.
Yeah. And that's all I'm saying. Like, I mean, that's not necessarily a name, but a guy that can actually get buckets for you. And I think that might come based on the health. If the Cavs get healthier, we might see that. But I think that the more that you see those starters play together, because I think this was like the 7th or the 8th game where you actually had all the starters available for the Cavs, and they look great.
Yeah, but LeVert didn't play. This was Dean Wade's first game back.
Facts.
Ty Jerome still not playing, so they still not all the way healthy. And I think as far as buckets off the bench, man, that's Karis LeVert all day, man.
Yeah.
And you know what? And this to the little fella, Relly Hall. We already talking about Tristan Thompson, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But before that, he was all worried, had his boxers in a bunch about Max Strus getting the $16 million a year. Max Strus been worth every penny.
Pay that man. Straight facts. Pay that man. Max Strus out there balling. I'm not saying he's all-star, but Max Strus is a serviceable NBA player. Ain't no ifs. He's had multiple games where he's had 20-plus points. Multiple. So he's been out there killing them, man. It ain't like he's in laid an egg. Well, I like him. You know,
he had 17, 5, and 6 tonight, and he was 4 of 8 from three-point range.
Yeah. Love him. Great pickup. Great move by the Cavaliers.
Garland finally showed up with 9 assists.
Yeah.
And 0 turnovers. His
26
problem, he been lackadaisical, man. They had the top 50 today come out, Bleacher Report. Darius Garland was like 42, 41 something a year or two ago. He's not even in the top 50 anymore.
Take boy fresh. I'm going to transition, and we're going to talk about this topic before we get off the show. Bleacher Report. Can you read off the top 5 for me from the Bleacher Report today, sir? Can you please read that off?
You should have had me have it in front of me, man.
I know, man. But I just want to see, because there's some talk out there, and, you know, Big G been on something for a minute. I just want you to read off that top 5 from the Bleacher Report.
Now,
What's up, Gavin?
Hold on, Big G.
Mm-hmm.
We were just on another podcast, and you said Bleacher Report's rankings is trash. I hadn't yet told you about them agreeing with something you said. Now you want me to read them off.
Yeah. Read them off. Because Bleacher Report might come out the matrix right now, right here and now. Bleacher Report, you might get some credibility right here and now based on this list that Tate Boy Fresh is about to read off live on That's Rather Cavalier's Cleveland Cavaliers podcast. Tate Boy Fresh, drum roll, please. Top 5.
Because they agree with you?
Yep.
Come on, Big G. You got more credibility than that.
Man, we're going to see what they say, though, bro.
Well, I told you who was number 2. That's why.
But I want to know top 5.
The top 5, I got it right here.
That's what I want to know. Top 5.
Okay, you tell me who you think the top 5 is.
I would willing to say that Giannis or Joker is 1. Shea is 2. Then the opposite person that's not Giannis's Joker is 3. And B is 4. Jason Tatum's 5. I'm just shooting a shot in the park.
Okay, well, I'll just start from 5.
Mm-hmm.
Tyrese Halliburton, Indiana Pacers is 5.
Oh.
Giannis, Milwaukee Bucks is 4. Joel Embiid, 76ers is 6.
Mm-hmm. There's 3. He's 3. Joel Embiid's 3.
3. I'm sorry, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is 2.
Say that one more time.
Shea is 2.
Okay, yeah.
But you just said Bleacher Report rankings is trash.
Well, no. Who's number 1?
You didn't say that, though.
I did say it, but who's number 1?
Joker, the big boy. Interesting, though, and this is current season ranking. Durant is 6.
Mm-hmm.
Tatum is 7.
Mm-hmm.
Maxey is 8 for 76ers.
Mm-hmm.
LeBron is 9.
Mm-hmm.
And Luka's 10.
Oh, yeah. Shea over Luka. That's all I'm saying, man. That's all I'm saying. Shea is a monster, man. His team is playing.
It won't end like that, though, Big G. Shea is a beast.
Ma said Luka got 29, 10, and 10.5. Guess what? They playing the trash Utah Jazz, and they probably going to win. But ask him when he had them empty calories the other night against OKC, and look what happened.
When he had 18 and 15?
He killed them, but they lost. And that's all I'm saying. I want good numbers with dubs and showing that you're in the MVP conversation.
Your boy Josh Giddey was like number 22 or something like that.
Oh, he's a baller. And Chet out there balling. But you know why they playing? Because Shea makes them better.
Let me make it Cavs centric. Donovan Mitchell was 23. I think that's a bit low, but he ain't been having a good early season like he did last year.
Yep.
And Evan Mobley is 39.
Yeah. And they can move up. I think both of those guys have the potential to be top 25 by the time the season ends. I would definitely say that Evan Mobley and Donovan Mitchell have. Darius Garland could jump back in there. Top 50.
He need to stop playing lackadaisical. That's what he's been doing, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's go over the Cavs stats real quick for this game. Then we can take a quick break and then come back with our final thoughts and stuff.
Hit it.
The Cavs shot 53% from the field.
Yep.
46 or 86.
Yeah, ain't bad. Ain't bad at all.
3-point range, they shot 41%. That's great.
Loving it.
14 to 34. 75% from the line, 15 to 20. 15 turnovers. That's a little bit high. But 29 assists. That's great.
That means they was pushing the rock. They was pushing it.
Out-rebounded the Magic, 45 rebounds, 10 offensive, 2 blocks. I need more blocks from you, Evan and Jared, to the Magic 6.
Yeah.
5 steals to the Magic's 10. And, yeah, that pretty much does it for the stats there, man.
Yeah. But the dub, all 5 starters, 4 starters. Jared Allen had 8. But he had a lot of rebounds. But 4 to 5 starters weighing double figures, I'll take it all day and night. Hey, go ahead, bro.
No, I said, like you say, football slowing down now. It's bowl season. We still got our pro football responsibilities, but the college is going to be slowing down. So, Friday night, there's a game against the Heat. It's at 8 o'clock. We usually get off overtime about 10 o'clock. So when that game over with, we should be ready to come right at the people with an instant reaction for the Miami Heat game.
I'm with it. I'm with it for sure. Hey, we're going to take a quick commercial break so we can pay some bills on Fans First Sports Network. That's Rather Cavaliers, Cleveland Cavaliers podcast on Google Podcasts, Apple, and Spotify. We'll see you guys in about 15, 20 seconds. We'll be right back. And we're back with That's Rather Cavaliers, Cleveland Cavaliers podcast. 2 in the dangerous, 3 in the building. Me and my boy, Tate Boy Fresh, Big G rocking out on Fans First Sports Network. That's Rather Cavaliers, Cleveland Cavaliers podcast. Tate Boy Fresh, we had a good conversation tonight about the Cleveland Cavaliers. We had some other basketball talk here and there. Your closing thoughts or your final thoughts as we wrap this show up and move forward with another Cavs maybe hitting them up on Friday.
Big G, well, I want you to forecast it, man. I want you to the next 4 games. Miami, all on the road.
Yeah.
Miami, Orlando, Boston. What's the Cavs record?
Win against the Heat. Should win against Orlando and a split with the Celtics.
3-1.
3-1, at worst 2-2.
Against teams that's all ahead of them.
Yeah. 4-2 over the next 6. 4-2 over the next 6. Ain't no ifs, ands, buts about it. 4-2 over the next 6.
Is JB on the hot seat?
Yes. As much as I hate to say it, yes, he is. He is. Because there's guys that want that job because they see that roster. And I don't know. Listen, JB has to have us with a 4 seed or higher, or he might not make it as the coach. Now they're giving him a chance and giving him an opportunity because the roster hasn't been healthy. But we need a 4 seed or higher. If we don't, it might be adios muchachos to JB Bickerstaff for the Cleveland Cavaliers moving forward. Because there's guys that want the job. I've heard Mark Jackson wants it. So we'll see moving forward.
I like Mark Jackson.
Yeah.
Any other JB though?
Yeah, me neither. I don't dislike him, but you got to win now. You have a win now roster in Cleveland. Period. You got to win now. This is not, we're going to wait, we're going to build, we're going to grow. Especially if you want to retain Donovan Mitchell. It's win now. So, it's time to turn it up and do what we need to do to move forward.
You heard anything about not like in a negative way, but just on court friction because of play styles between Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland?
Absolutely, I have.
Yeah.
I've heard that Darius Garland wants to be the alpha male of the room. And, that always circles me back to, do the Cavs hold on to Donovan Mitchell? We'll see. But if it's not working by about that 35, 40 game mark, he might not want to be there. We can get a lot for Donovan Mitchell. We can get a lot.
We get a lot for him with the rest of this year and another year on his deal.
Mm-hmm.
And I also think if they trade him, I think Donovan Mitchell's a great player.
Me too.
But if they traded him and got a whole bunch of pieces, I'm not even saying who,
Mm-hmm.
I think the future of the Cavs is going to be centered around Evan Mobley, Darius Garland, and Imani Bates.
Without a shadow of a doubt. And everybody else is serviceable pieces that you build around that roster. So we'll see. But I think if they move off of Mitchell, Bickerstaff's out the door. That's just in my opinion. If they move off of Mitchell, that means it didn't work for him. That means it's not going to work for the coach. He's out of there. So we could tell. I think one thing will lead to another. I think they're connected. There's an interconnectivity between Bickerstaff being the coach and moving forward with Donovan Mitchell. That's just my thoughts. What you think?
What prediction is Gavin talking about?
Talking about what I said the Cavs record would be. 3-1 or 2-2.
That ain't you like be dirt and pay, man. You ain't jumping out there. You saying either we gonna win 3 games, we gonna win 2 games. Give me something to stick to it.
3-1.
Okay.
3-1.
And they split with Boston.
Yep. It says, honestly, the whole thing with JB and Donovan is extremely uncertain. We have to see what the team is good by the deadline. We'll trade Donovan if the offer's really good. Absolutely, we will. We'll trade Donovan Mitchell.
I wouldn't be mad with a trade of Donovan Mitchell because we get pieces. We might not make it to that second round of the playoffs this year, but we will be competitive in the first round. And then next year will be our year with these young guys with a lot of experience and more pieces on the bench and things like that. But yeah, I like Donovan Mitchell. And if he want to stay here, I want him here. But if he's thinking about going somewhere, want to test the market and all that stuff, where you go?
Yep, that's what I'm feeling. So we'll see. And I can tell you, you hit it out the park when you said earlier. These next 6 games are critical. Ma says trade him to who? A lot of teams. I trade him to Brooklyn. I trade him to Chicago. I trade him to Charlotte. There's 3 teams right off the back that I trade him to.
He want to go to New York though. He can definitely go to Brooklyn. We talked about this before.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Brooklyn got a lot of pieces.
Yeah, he said JB's dad works for the Cavs front office, so he'll probably demote him if things don't go well. I agree, but that means they bring in a coach.
But Bernie is a consultant.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Bernie been in the NBA long enough, probably 50 years.
Yep.
He know how things go.
Yep.
So even if his son got fired or replaced, he understands he been fired or replaced.
Mm-hmm. I remember when they canned him in Seattle.
Well, I remember he coached a good Seattle Supersonics team.
Had a great team, and they canned him.
Was that the team with like Xavier McDaniel?
Yep.
Nate McMillan?
Yep. Let's see if you get any more right.
That wasn't George Karl coached the science when they went to the finals and stuff.
Correct. Xavier McDaniel.
Dale Ellis.
Now, let's see if you can get 2 more right.
Jack Sigma?
No.
Nope.
Tom Chambers.
He was there then. Boy, with the
Alton Lister.
Alton Liston, the big man.
Yep. Had a nice little squad. Frank. They had this before they traded, and they had Frank Johnson.
I think they drafted Detlef Shrimp too. They drafted him. He played with George Karl and Sean Kemp and them, but I think Bernie drafted him.
No, Detlef Shrimp got drafted by the Dallas Mavericks.
But when he was in Seattle, though.
No, later on up the road, Detlef Shrimp was in Seattle with Uwe Blab, with Mark Aguirre, with Rolando Blackman,
Roy Tarpley.
Roy Tarpley with what was the Derek Harper with Sam Perkins, James Donaldson. He was in Dallas.
Yeah, he didn't go to Seattle to 93.
Mm-hmm. Table Fresh, I know a little bit about that know-it-alls with that basketball history, bro. I know a little bit about it. Just a little bit.
You're right.
Yeah, just a little bit. But yeah, I think that the Cavs would make a trade. If I would put it in order, I would go Brooklyn first. Brooklyn first. Chicago second. Charlotte third. If I had designated teams to send him to. New Orleans Pelicans fourth, but I don't think they're going to break it up.
New Orleans playing good. Hey, that's one last thing I want to talk about before we go, man. This in-season tournament, man.
Mm-hmm.
Remember back in the summer, we found out they was going to do that, man.
Yep.
And at the time, our boy BP was on here.
Yep.
And I felt like BP was being a grump about it. You know, like don't want change. Like it's gonna be dumb. Not gonna like it. This thing been juiced up, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's been good for ratings. It's been good because you know how in the NBA most seasons, the first 30 games of the season, cats just coast through it, right? They just coast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They don't really play hard. But when you put tournament under something and
Yeah.
a trophy and a $500,000 prize for each player, and those teams that made it to the semifinals already got $100,000 for making it.
Facts.
It means something, man. If you watch any of them games, you watched that Phoenix Laker game last night?
They was killing it. I watched the whole game.
Man, that was a great game, man.
Yep.
It was energy in the I still call it Staples, even though it's called what's it called now?
I don't know. It's LA.
I don't know. But you know,
LA.
Man, because of Pierce, because of Rashad. Your boy sat floor seated at the Laker game, man. Shaq Kobe Lakers.
Yeah. Facts.
Yeah. But
Shotty Liston.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Sean. So yeah, I call it Staples because of that. But yeah, man, this tournament been great, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got great finals. You got the New Orleans Pelicans playing the Los Angeles Lakers in the West, and New Orleans is playing some of the best basketball.
It would have been better if Boston made it, and we could see the Lakers and Celtics in the first ever in-season tournament, the teams that have the most championships. It would have been greater if the Celtics had won.
I didn't see I didn't watch the first game. Who won between Milwaukee and New York?
Milwaukee won. It's gonna be Milwaukee and the Lakers. That's just as good.
Yeah. That's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, it's gonna be
because I like Milwaukee. I like Milwaukee. They got a nice squad.
You know how a couple years ago you called AD, you gave him the initials always down.
Always down.
But hey, man, somebody else gave him the other initial.
What they say?
They call him always disappearing.
Always vanishing. Always pulling a vanishing act out there, man. Bron, 40 years old, still carrying the Lakers. Man, Wilt Chamberlain is rolling over in his grave.
Real quick.
Come on, man.
Real quick. Is Bron the GOAT?
Absolute facts. Absolute 150% facts. The greatest basketball player to ever lace him up is one LeBron James. Period, point blank. He's doing stuff you've never seen before. And the reason I give him this more than anything is because he had the highest level of expectations of any NBA player to ever hit the league. And he superseded the expectations by far. That's why he's number one. I love Michael Jeffrey Jordan. I think he's a great basketball player. But LeBron's the GOAT, bro.
Thanks, Gavin. Yeah, man, it was, man. I can't wait till tomorrow night. And, well, man, I watch my Steelers tomorrow. But that Steeler game against the Patriots is going to be a poorly watched Amazon Prime game, I'm telling you.
Yeah, hey, listen, I thought they was going to do the flex. I ain't going to lie to you, Tate. I thought they was going to flex them, but they didn't. I think next week they start with the flex.
They know the Steelers and Patriots are two good brands, even though the Patriots really are bad. The Steelers just haven't been playing well, but still playing for something.
Yeah.
The Patriots need to go out there and roll over and try and get that number one pick. Let us just have it.
Yep. After said she might watch the game in Spanish. Hey, Afton, I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you at all, man. I ain't mad at all.
Bet they be saying your thing, Big G.
What's that?
Adios, muchachos.
Hey, man. You know what? I'm gonna say this before we get off the pod. I've been watching a lot of television lately with sports on it, and I hear a lot of things that I say on this podcast or on all the podcasts that we're on a lot of these guys, man. And I'm like, man, I've been saying this stuff for 2 or 3 years. Why all of a sudden somebody might be tapping into That's Rather Cavaliers, the homies overtime, level up, the know-it-alls, pump your brakes. They might be tapping into, because Tate, they say a lot of stuff that I've never heard the guys say before on other shows, man.
Yeah, man. What's your favorite podcast out?
The know-it-alls, because that's home base.
Not yourself, man. Not that you work on, that you watch.
The Pivot.
Yeah, that's mine too.
The Pivot podcast. The Pivot.
I watched the other day. Michael Vick was on there the other day. That's pretty good.
Yeah, the Pivot is my favorite, man. I love how I wish on the know-it-alls we could do it all in one spot, but maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't. But I love that. I love that aspect of it. Right. The guys that really know football, without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, but they talk about everything, though, man.
Absolutely, culture, everything.
Did you ever watch that one with the NBA guys with the Pivot and the All the Smoke with Jack and Matty Barnes?
Yeah, absolutely. Jackson. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah,
great show.
Steven Jackson.
Great show. All the Smoke is a nice show too.
Two know-it-alls.
Yeah. Say again.
I said I know a little bit too know-it-alls. Don't try and correct me, man. I know it's Jack and they call him Stack. When you know him, you call him by his nickname. I call you Big G, don't I?
Facts.
That's Stack to me.
Absolutely.
All
right, bro. All right, bro. We done did it. We done did the pod. We appreciate all y'all rocking with us over in the live chat. Please make sure that you like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure you share with your friends with Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and or Google Podcasts. Tate Boy Fresh asked for me and him. Unless he got anything else to say, you know how I close out the show, Tate Boy Fresh.
We'll be back Friday night late, real quick, to talk about that win against the Miami Heat we gonna get.
Absolutely.